Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ben and today we'll be checking out Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and I wanted to wear something related to the film, so I've got my white polo on as we are sadly now without T'Challa. So as Wakandans do, they wear white when someone dies, so I'm wearing white for this sad movie. So first off, this is not a first time watching, I'm afraid. I have seen this in cinemas and this video is a full commentary. If that's not what you're looking for, I am sorry, but this video is just to comment, analyse and lose our minds over the world of Marvel. Now if that sounds like fun to you and you do enjoy this video, please remember to like and subscribe, and as always the full commentary will be available on my Patreon, and with that said, let's get into it.
Please allow me to heal my brother of this illness, and I will never question your existence again.
Oh, it just shows how desperate she is, like the scientist that sure he is going to Bast for help.
You should go be by his side.
Like, oh.
Everyone get out!
So much happens in this first, like, a scene. You can just see her, like, grief and worry.
Your brother is with the ancestors.
I mean, the emotion that these women give off is just so powerful. I mean, both of them have lost someone. Like, you could just see everyone. It's just so sad. Because you know all these emotions are real, and it just hurts him more just knowing that. None of this is acting. This is just pure grief from everyone involved. Look how she breaks away from the tradition of, like, they've said their last goodbye, but she goes and hugs him one last time.
To never trade vibranium under any circumstance because of the dangerous potential of you.
Yep. Wakanda is actually the only country that's had it for so long and has never used it. They're, like, obviously the most trustworthy people to have it. I mean, a fight scene with the Dora Milaje never gets old. It's just always awesome. I mean, the way they don't even kill anyone. I mean, they easily could, but it's that amount of restraint. I mean, this is so powerful. She just comes in all quiet without them knowing what happened, and she just walks out these people. Anyone who's questioned her as, like, queen, immediately shut up at this point. Because, like, you don't actually... She didn't really have any, like, leadership positions in Black Panther or before. And it honestly is a good question. Like, can she lead a country in the sequel? Because everyone now is gone. But now you just see, like, she's a perfect leader now.
And wish the best of luck.
I mean, the country literally got attacked. And she doesn't even kill the soldiers. They don't even take them prisoner. They hand them back. And it's like, really? That's the best you got? I mean, this mirrors Wakanda so perfectly. You have them who, when invaders come in, they hand them back. But for this kingdom, when invaders come in, no one leaves alive. Oh, I love this so much. I love how, like, everyone involved, like, stepped into mythology of aquatic civilizations with the siren songs. Oh, it's just so perfect.
It's a phantom jellyfish. I've never seen one this color.
And even that, you know Namor's just using sea creatures to distract the humans. Like, silly humans, look at the flashing lights. I'll go kill your friend. This is so overpowered. The fact they can get a couple Tarlokans just start singing and people start killing themselves. And it's so casual and so, like, no one's fighting back. It's honestly kind of beautiful in a way. The song's beautiful. Like, the way that they're not fighting death, they don't seem to be hurt. Like, no one struggles when they enter the water. And even this part of the song, it sounds so powerful. It's like they've gone from one part where it's just getting rid of the crew. Now this is like the survivors, who has, like, the more powerful people who've managed to resist. This is the song they sing for them. Nope. Atuma! And all of you are dead. It's so, like, ruthless and powerful. I mean, they didn't even take anything. Like, with Wakanda, people intentionally came in to steal their resources. These guys didn't even know this place existed and went to check out some signs of vibranium. Namor just has no tolerance for that. Kills them all anyway. Even the music feels sadder than the first one. It feels like the light has gone out in Wakanda because of T'Challa's passing. It doesn't feel as vibrant and as, like, full as it did.
Need new technology.
What of the Black Panther?
She doesn't want a new Black Panther. Her only Black Panther was T'Challa.
But he was there.
The presence that you felt was just a construct of your mind.
I love how the Ramonda doesn't get insulted by what Shuri says. She's trying to help her. Because she is healed. She's not insulted by it whatsoever or hurt. She's just focusing on Shuri and how hurt she is.
Vibranium only exists here. In Wakanda.
Mother, he's covered in it.
You know, as a statement, they might have like vibranium beads, but not all their clothes are made of vibranium. He is actually just full on wearing everything vibranium.
I have more soldiers than this land has blades of grass. I would hate to come back under different circumstances.
I mean, he just, his whole tone and shift comes in so pure and happy about finding this wonderful place, and it just goes on to just terrifyingly threaten them.
They would still be there, choking on their fuzzy adornments.
You bald-headed demon.
I love him, Baku.
It may do her some good to get out. She'll be with me.
I love how much respect Ramonda put into Okoye. It's like she really trusted her grieving daughter with this woman. Like, she's so trusted. And it's so sad that what happens after.
It's the wrong shade, isn't it?
It's the right shade. A school project.
Yeah. The professor said I'd never be able to do it.
There's such a better origin than her comic one, where she basically, I can't remember what exactly she did, but basically the professor, she forced the professor to say, oh, I don't believe in you, you won't be able to do it. It's so much better having a little competition like, oh, your professor didn't think you'd be able to make this brilliant machine, which, yeah, that's probably a good statement. It's not like, I don't believe you'll ever do anything. Oh, I just don't think you'll make this really good machine. But she beat it.
You can come to Wakanda, conscious or unconscious.
Okoye is just terrifying.
You need to be conscious of the way that you look. Walking around here with that ash on your head.
I told you.
You look good. Okay?
It's so funny to see Okoye caring about her appearance. It's like, she's such a warrior, you wouldn't think she'd mind.
What is it you're building here? Is it static? I said don't touch anything.
Princess.
See, I really want to know if that's like actually hers or if it was found, because I know Stark Tech's kind of all over the place at the minute. I'd love it if that's actually hers and she like found a way to rebuild Stark Tech from just a few plans. Yeah, it would just put her on the same level as like Whiplash and Tony automatically if she was able to build her own arc reactor from scratch.
Don't tell me that you built this in 2 months. I spent years on this.
See, I'm happy with that. Tony Stark was able to build his, I'm not sure how long he built his for, but he built his in the cave very quickly. I'm glad that it's taken her years, because like, it's going to be very hard to try and put someone above Tony, but this way it really helps like set her apart and like allows her to be her without trying to compete with Iron Man.
28,000 feet.
Oxygen level is now 30%.
And this scene as well, it mirrors Iron Man so much. It's the same one when he tried to like go super high up, he froze.
Oxygen 0%.
And the drop. I love that. It just mirrors Iron Man so much. I love it so much. Because it's not in competition. It's just like paying homage to it. She's not trying to better herself than Iron Man. Like, the people who made this are so respectful to like that character. She's not trying to best him. It's just that it's mirroring their story. You can see where she's going to go and how she's going to be one up there with Iron Man. I mean, this scene is so impressive. This is just Okoye versus like 5 of them. She's got a Tuma, a general, and Namora, Namor's cousin. And it's just her against all of them. Wow. I mean, all these guys have super strength, and she's still managing to fend them all off. Can we just take a minute to appreciate how the Talokans sound? Like, I love that way that, like, I'm not even sure how to describe it. It's like how they're speaking through water, and you can hear, like, it bubbling, I guess? They really just did a lot with the tumor, just from that alone. He wasn't just going to take the easy win and kill her. He because of Okoye's fighting ability, he respects her enough to actually give her a proper challenge.
Special agent in charge.
I love that these two were married.
Me through the evidence here, or what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see what Val like ends up doing in the MCU.
You will be stripped of your rank as general of Wakanda's armies and your status as Dora Milaje.
And that's just heartbreaking.
I have given everything.
Oh, I feel like if she had like accepted it, she might. Ramonda may have been lenient.
And my entire family is gone!
Oh, she is just so amazing.
Given everything!
Oh, it hurts so much just hearing her speak. Angela Bassett, you're such an incredible actress. Can we just talk a minute about how Ramonda actually went herself to find Nakia? She didn't send a soldier, she actually went herself because she knew how important this was. I mean, that is a ruler. She put her own life on the line and went out into the field to find T'Challa's love. I have no idea if they're married, girlfriend, I don't know what the label is. See, I'm wondering, how is the I'm assuming Namor has the X gene. They said he was a mutant. How is that working? Was he a mutant then, or did this make him a mutant? It's definitely a twist on Namor's origin, where I think it was his father was human and his mother was an Atlantean queen, having, I guess, both his parents be human, and then it be the vibranium herb that changed him. And then him becoming king through, like, his power.
To bury her in the soil of her home, nothing could prepare me for what I found there.
I mean, this has got to be so traumatic. Wow. I mean, like, going to bury your mother. He went the first time he ever stepped foot on land. His mother's ancestral home was to bury her. Such an emotional thing, and then to see this. I mean, you can really see why he decided to hate the surface world. Now it's like Namor needs to know that not all the surface world is like this.
The child without love.
I mean, the way he smiles at this, it doesn't feel like you want to be sympathising with him. Even though it's such a traumatic event, he's smiling through all this pain that he's causing.
I have no love for the surface world.
It just makes him look so villainous.
The pressure of the ocean will break every bone in your body.
See, the way he talks about killing and death is so off-putting. See,
We have some of them. Come on.
He's so, like, his emotions just change so quickly. It's really off-putting. It's like, I know he's an anti-hero, and at some point he's going to have to team up with other heroes. How is he going to act around people who aren't Wakandan? I mean, they really, honestly, you got to give it to Marvel. This place is absolutely stunning. Like the lights in the darkness, and like the way everything floats around. Wow. Like this looks like Talon capital city. So there is definitely other places underwater. Maybe Atlantis is somewhere in another part of the nation. I mean, imagine, like, Shuri is the first person, like, ever to see this. It almost mirrors Everett when he was the first outsider to come to Wakanda. Now Shuri is in Everett's position, like, seeing this incredible hidden city. Like, seeing these people is, like, so beautiful. Like, all the smiles and just... It's, like, no hostility. It's just curiosity. Like, these people have probably never known any threats because they've been underwater the entire time. They've never known war. All they have to deal with is maybe sharks, but they can deal with them easily. They've probably never known any diseases, because I think that's what Namor said. He escaped when he escaped the surface world, diseases were gone.
Made of vibranium.
I brought the sun to my people.
There's one thing, I know they cut some scenes from trailers and stuff, but we're meant to get a closer look at the sun, aren't we? Because that is the thing, that's the huge vibranium source that everyone's picking up. I want more info on, like, that sun, because it is stunning. Like, look at that shot, it is just amazing.
Please take this as a token of our gratitude.
See, there's the friendlier side that needs to show through more if he's going to team up with other heroes. See, what needs to happen is a global threat to get Namor on board. Because he doesn't know about all the threats out in the universe. All they need is Galactus to show up, then have him, like, threaten the world, and then Namor will realise, oh, his country is at threat, and every other country's up there, and then there'll be unity. And then he'll like understand some teamwork between them.
You said you wanted to burn the world. Let us burn it together.
See, this is a really good turning point. She's seen what Namor has done and can do. She doesn't want to be like that. She knows if she accepts that term, and she knows what she... This is like her facing what she's slowly becoming. Now she has the chance to pull away, like, uh-oh, you're kind of crazy. I'm going to turn away from that now.
I will come to Wakanda, and I will kill you.
See, I don't... He's meant to be an anti-hero, but I don't get how he can be redeemed. The only way he can be, like, seen as a hero is to his own people. The only way he can be, like, redeemed is if there's a worldwide threat that he helps with. No nation is ever going to want to work with him. And the costume design is absolutely amazing. I mean, in the Black Panther franchise, they never miss it. I mean, wow.
Is it true you saw an underwater empire?
In the capital city, we still haven't seen the entire empire yet. I have so many ideas for what Marvel could do with, like, all of it. Mainly a civil war between Namor and Atuma. I would love that.
King and Black Panther to everyone. But to me, he was everything.
I wish we got more of them before, like, T'Challa went. Because, like, I never knew if they were, like, actually fully together. I know in the ending they kind of got back together, but they were, like, they were exes. And it seems like so much changed, and I wish we could have seen it. But they only managed to save one of them, wow. That isn't even going to kill them. That just does basically nothing. I mean, it is ruthless. They are just going after civilians. It's not even soldiers they're attacking. And that's got to be so humbling from Baku. Like, this guy actually broke through his chest plate with one punch and sent him flying. I really hope, like, Marvel do something with M'Baku after that and, like, bring it back. Like, that's the first time he's actually been punched like that. It's got to be a knock to his ego. Oh, this flying is so cool! Can I just point out, if Wanda is irredeemable after Doctor Strange with her kill count, I don't see how Namor can be redeemed. Okay, yeah, I hate this moment. I hate this moment so much. Get away from the window, please! Oh, I hate that I know what happens next. And the throne falls over. Like, you can even hear the grief already starting in Shuri's voice. It's the fact that she's not even gone yet, that she's gonna start struggling. Like, she uses her last moments to save someone. The way Shuri's screaming, it's sending shivers down my spine. Like, it's Okoye trying to save her. The one who stripped her of everything. Like, she's trying so hard. I'm gonna cry. Am I gonna cry? It hurts more because, like, the way Shuri was treating her mum, like, just before, like, her mum was so trying to help, but Shuri was just not having any of it. And now she's gone, so Shuri now feels even worse. Okoye could easily blame Ramonda for everything now that's happening to her. She could easily, like, just accept that she's dead and not care. But the fact that she tried to save the Queen, even though she's no longer Dora Milaje, just shows how faithful she is to the throne.
The U.S. was the only country in the world with vibranium.
I actually dream about that.
And there it is. That is what she wants. She wants America to have vibranium. She's going to be so dangerous when she actually gets her hands on it.
Start by running a comparative analysis between our attempts at creating a synthetic heart-shaped herb fibers from this bracelet.
It really is quite fitting that Namor is the one that caused his own downfall. He gave her that gift that was made from, like, an alternative heart-shaped herb. That is what's actually allowed Shuri to recreate the Black Panther.
He's breathing air and getting oxygen from the water on his skin. If we could find a way to dry his ass out, he won't be as strong.
Really? Not a fan of that change. When you adapt a comic character who's very strong you should find a way to enhance the hero in a way so that they can beat him without making the comic character weaker. Having to add a weakness to Namor that basically means he dries out, I just don't like that at all. It's one of the only things that really bug me about this film. The fact you had to take away something from this character to allow the hero to win. I mean, she's smart enough. She should have been able to find another way around it without having Namor weakened.
The Midnight Angel.
Midnight Angel.
I do like that they've adapted the Midnight Angels from the comics. Because I don't know much about them. I just know that they were like a suit worn by the Dora Milaje. I'm sure there ends up being like a civil war and the Dora Milaje turn against the kingdom. I could be wrong. I think that might be what happens. I don't know if that's setting up something with the Midnight Angels. I don't know like the significance of the Midnight Angels. I think they're just like a special suit of armor the Dora wear. I wonder what happened if she drank the whole thing. Does it have an effect on like the strength? If she drank it all, would she be stronger? If she drank only a little bit, is that weaker? Not your mum, not your father, not your brother, your cousin.
It's never as important as why, right?
Repeating what Namor said.
I would never choose you.
It's because you're becoming like him.
We're more alike than you think.
Yep, and that's the scary thing. That's what you need to get away from.
How many people like your scientists did Wakanda protect before I took the throne?
Makes a point. The old Wakanda would have just let Riri die.
Are you gonna be noble like your brother? Or take care of business? Like me?
It was so good using him. It was so good. She was on such a dark path, and having him being confronted by him of all people was just perfect to turn her away from it. Such a cool entrance. Mirroring T'Challa. Oh, I love this. It's such a good way of showing the strength. She's able to do that with M'Baku. You don't need to punch anyone, you don't need to destroy anything. And show that she's got the heart-shaped herb back.
Hi. Good morning.
Let's just take a minute and appreciate that costume. I honestly love that it's inspired by like both T'Challa and Killmonger. She has like the gold from... It's all just brilliant. Like the gold represents Killmonger, the silver is T'Challa. It shows that she's a combination of all of them. That she does have that darkness that Killmonger has. But she is still T'Challa's sister. Oh, I'm getting chills! Costume, I like a lot. Only issue with Ironheart here is I just don't think they did enough to combine the suit with her personality. In Iron Man, you had Tony's personality, which was kind of a jerk, but he got better. But he had his cool suit. And I think there's that one iconic scene where he shoots something and then he's walking away from an explosion. That is an awesome combination of his uniqueness with that suit. Ironheart, I just don't think they fit that in. There was nothing significant about her in that suit that's any different from anyone else in that suit. We got to see Ironheart, Riri's personality, we just didn't get to see that personality shine through in her using that suit, which we'll just have to wait and see if they do in Ironheart. Yes, the suit is very cool, I'll give it that. The suit is super cool. I love the design of it. It just, we didn't get to see her using it as, like, significant enough in her own personality. She's got a great personality. It's like, there's nothing super unique or memorable from her using it. It's all just very simple and routine for Iron people. I'm really hopeful that when Ironheart comes out, when she's fighting against magic and stuff, that she'll get her own unique moment where it's like, that sort of makes her stand out from any other person using an iron suit.
What's wrong?
Actually, his weakness is a hairdryer. See, I would love for Wakanda, this is just my own little thoughts, I'd love for Wakanda to get their own sort of helicarrier, because that would have worked super well here. It's a ship that can go in the air. You could easily get away from all of the water people. No one would, you could literally just leave the army behind. Wouldn't have to deal with any of them. See, I don't want I feel like the Midnight Angel suits need more as well. When I first watched this, they just felt like another sort of Iron suit. They weren't super, like, they do everything an Iron Man suit does. They need something unique to, like, separate them from just a regular Iron Man suit, because we're going to get loads of those soon. Especially with Armor Wars around the corner. See, the one thing I do is kind of unrelated, but the thing that I like about the Midnight Angel armor is that there is the tassels. It gives me hope for like a comic accurate Mr. Sinister, because his whole costume is a whole weird thing. But with those tassels, I think it could be done very well. That has gotta hurt that she's actually clawed off one of his wings. I mean, is that permanent? I need answers to that. Because, like, it surely can't be permanent, but how does one regrow a wing? I really do like the dynamic between Atuma and Okoye. See, if I have other thoughts about Atuma, I definitely want him to become like a full-on villain. If that wasn't the case, I would like a little good friendship between Atuma and Okoye. But I do like their like rivalry and respect for as warriors they have. I refuse. I'm glad. That's one thing. Very glad. I don't think Atuma's dead, basically. That can't be a death. He just flew off into the ocean. He's going to be fine. I'm very happy about that, because Marvel have had a very annoying habit of killing off all their villains. Atuma can be something great, and he could be a brilliant villain for a solo Namor project or something. Right. She has been stabbed, probably through an organ. Maybe some bones. Some other thing should have happened after this. Okay, so you've still been stabbed. So you're still very severely injured. Yes, that suit probably does help and does heal, but not that quickly. And then you do a flip. No. No. If you've been stabbed, you cannot do that. Sorry. You can't do a flip after being stabbed.
Wakanda Forever!
I do like that. See, this is what Shuri should have done to the start. Use her technology to find a way to beat Namor, not dry him out. Because she can't beat him, obviously, in hand-to-hand combat and physical strength. Since he is basically as strong as the Hulk. That was what should have happened from the start. Using technology and her intellect to beat him.
Vengeance has consumed us. We cannot let it consume our people.
So close to mirroring. I can't remember if she says it or not. All she had to do was say, "I am done letting it consume me." It would have just been perfect. And I'm going to nod back to Civil War.
It's a great design, but can't let you leave with it. It's all good.
Happy about that. It's too soon to have such an advanced suit. I want her first suit to be a lot more like Iron Man's first basic suit. I want one of those cool suit-up scenes where all the pieces are clicking together.
It's my dad's car. Used to work on it before.
Yes. Okay, good. Like that comic origin. That's one bit of her comic origin I do like, that her dad and... I think it was her dad and her best friend got shot in a drive-by shooting. And I do like that. I do like when characters like lose people, because that is what strives them to move forward.
M'Baku, leader of the Jabari tribe, wishes to challenge for the throne.
Yeah, King M'Baku! I really hope they use him more now. He's the king of Wakanda now. I want him to be close to Man-Ape, like with a cool new costume that kind of resembles his comic appearance. But oh, he could be so cool as king. He could do so much. But it would probably be a disaster with how America's treating Wakanda right now. He'd be very aggressive. It is very interesting that she's gone away from Wakanda. I assume this means she's just gone off to be her own superhero now. I doubt she'd want to rule Wakanda after everything she's lost. Finally letting go. And moving on. It's just stunning. The light, the song, the music.
This is my son, Toussaint.
Yeah.
This is your auntie.
Yeah. You still have someone.
Away from the pressure of the throne.
Your mother just like appeased everyone.
Ogubani. My name is Prince T'Challa, son of
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting shivers. Like you see, I don't know if you see, hair is standing up on my forearm. So Marvel like appeased everyone. They didn't recast. They didn't like. Oh, they just did it the best way possible. And there's still a Black Panther, and there's still a T'Challa whose story will continue. This movie was just so good. It's got to be one of Marvel's best, honestly. And it's so sad what happened to Chadwick, but I honestly think this was done in the best way possible. The story was very much about grief and revenge, and that's something we have seen before in Marvel, but with everything surrounding this movie, it was made a whole lot more real. Like, you're bringing in a character, you're building up a character to replace an old one with Shuri. And it's almost like she has to go through what T'Challa went through, because he lost his father, and he went on his whole revenge run to try and kill Zemo. And Shuri almost had to go through that, as T'Challa did, to try and become the Black Panther that he was. It's almost repeating, but it's not... I need to find the right words. It's not copying, basically. It's an homage. She's following in his footsteps. It's paying respects, sort of thing. The costumes were just outstanding. They always are with Black Panther films. Hopefully in the third one they'll be just as good. Like, literally everyone, even like the minor characters. Ramonda looked amazing. I honestly love her crown. Even my nan loves her costume. Black Panther, I love how much thought and like went into that. The gold, the silver is all paying homage to who she was becoming and who she actually is. Like Nakia is paying more close attention to her tribe, her river tribe, and actually using her colours. The only costume I kind of have issues with is M'Baku's. I want him to get more closer to Man-Ape from the comics. That's basically just an all-white gorilla costume. All they have to do is just make a Black Panther version of that, and that'll be perfect, and that's all I need. Shuri's whole character, I think, was just done so well. I think she was definitely... At first, I did kind of want T'Challa to be recast when the news was announced, but I completely forget that now. Like, Shuri, after a while after that, I did want Shuri to become the next Black Panther. It just seemed the most fitting. And I think it was done just perfectly with her. Like, the sister just grieving and then having to take up the mantle, being the next in line for the throne. Oh, and like how her characters ended. Like, she was in no place to rule a country that's probably the most powerful in the world. And now I'm hoping that she's like sort of doing her own vigilante heroing, that she's out in the world, she's becoming a more prominent hero. I hope we all see her pop up again in more things, and it won't just be Black Panther. But yeah, I just like where she ended off, and her story was just done really well. With all the events surrounding this movie, I think bringing in Namor and like that for the first time, I think he was done quite well. I know that probably was quite the challenge with everything going on, but I think he was done very well. Few things I don't like. The adding the stupid weakness, did not like that. His basically weakness is a hairdryer. I think that's just stupid. Though I will say I don't think he was set up to be an anti-hero that well. He had a very large kill count. He had no mercy whatsoever, even for people that just might be trespassing on his nation, killed instantly. It's going to be very difficult for Marvel to set him up as any kind of hero after what happened there. I mean, he was definitely intimidating and terrifying, but I think that could have been done without him mercilessly killing everyone, and at least left room for some redemption, which just didn't happen. Queen Ramonda, Angela Bassett, just incredible. Simply amazing. Her lines, each one she delivered with such passion and grief, it felt so real. Honestly, it tugs at my heart, like when I hear her, when she was talking about losing everything she loved. In the trailers, it just hurt, like hearing that. She was just amazing. I can't find any fault in her performance or her character. It was just so good. It's so sad that that Marvel decided to kill her off. Yes, it does help bring Shuri forward, and she has started to move on now, and she's grown, and that was the push that made her become the Black Panther. But it was just so sad, and she was just a brilliant addition. Now, Riri, I think I mentioned this before. I don't know if I've included it or not, but the way her personality is great. Love her so much. The way they've changed her comic origins, I love. It's just when she was finally in her suit, I just don't feel like her personality came through enough in her armor. There was nothing that really set her aside from anyone else being in it. She didn't casually blast people and have fun with it. I'm trying to think, because like Iron Man, he, whenever he was in the suit, you knew it was him in the suit. It couldn't have been anyone else. His personality just blasted from it. Riri, we either just haven't had the time, or there was not a big enough moment where her personality really just shone through, and it was her using the suit, and it really made her unique and stand out in it. But of course, I hope that they fix that in the actual Ironheart show, but right now, I'm more just interested in that for Mephisto and the Hood. And M'Baku becoming king, I think, is just perfect. I think it's going to be so funny, and it's going to cause so many problems down the road. I would love for him to become some sort of Black Panther protector now, because he is the king. Wakanda does need a protector. He'll become it. But with the whole state of the world and wanting vibranium and the whole tension there, he's not going to help whatsoever. It's going to start a war between America and Wakanda, and I can't wait for that. With the way Val is and like her obsession with vibranium, it's going to cause a huge conflict. I think it's going to be incredible to see. But like, that's where the story's going with M'Baku as king. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to have a load of impact on the rest of the MCU, and it's just that small detail at the end, but it's going to be detrimental. The Midnight Angels, again, I'm happy they're included, but they needed something more unique that like makes you remember them, because right now they just feel like I could be completely wrong. Other people might think they're super unique, but I just feel like they're sort of Iron Man replicas. They need something unique about them. They need to use their spears more. I think there needs to be something unique and super like distinct about the Midnight Angels, because I think rumours they're getting a show, and there's going to be a setup between, it's meant to be setting up the war between Wakanda and America. Apparently that's happening. Hopefully that will build on them, and you'll actually be able to see their uniqueness and their person, because Okoye's got a brilliant personality. I'm just really hoping that will come through in the suit, because she is now basically a superhero way more than she was as Adore Milaje. So yeah, I'm just hoping that becomes more unique and more distinct. Nakia finally came back into the MCU after being gone for so long, and now it's so clear why she was absent from Infinity War and Endgame. She was raising the next king, and I think that is just so cool. I'm so happy that that's happened. It's just so incredible that like she's come back, and now she stepped aside from her like war dog spy ways, and like fully focused on her child, and I think that's really nice. And like, but when her queen needed her, she stepped back into it and she saved Shuri. I really hope nothing happens to her now, because I can see that what they'll do again is when the new Black Panther starts becoming prominent, Nakia is going to end up dying to push him forward to go through a revenge storyline. I don't want that to happen again. Let Nakia live, please. Now, although I didn't love his new design, I really did like Atuma's inclusion and his setup. I'm really hoping he's not dead. His ending was left ambiguous, but he just got thrown off the ship and into the sea. I'm hoping he's still alive. I have a brilliant plan on what I want to happen with him. I know it probably won't happen, but I would love for a Namor-focused show where Atuma is the villain, and it's like a civil war between him and Atuma, where maybe Atuma gets a bunch of people that don't like how Namor's ruling, how he's now kind of made peace with some of the surface world. Atuma will then go and like maybe capture Atlantis, and that'll be his base of operations, and he'll get his gold crown or something, and that'll be Atuma versus Namor in that. I just think that'd be cool, and I want that to happen. I want Atuma to be an actual villain, because I'm getting very annoyed with how Marvel treat villains. They almost change them into sort of weak heroes or pathetic. Gore, nightmare. Abomination, ruined after She-Hulk. There's just, and Atuma is right on the edge. I really want him to become a full-on villain. I did like how he treated Okoye and how he respected the warrior thing. I think there's so much to dive into there. They had respect for each other as warriors. There's so much to do there, and I really hope that becomes focused and they improve upon that, and they keep going with him. Now for the new king, young T'Challa. I was so happy. Honestly, I was nearly jumping out of my seat in the cinema when that post-credit scene happened. I could not have been happier. It was wonderful, because now with the mutants coming in, it also sets up the chance for him to meet like Storm later down the road. All they have to do is in like Moon Knight season 2, having Cairo, a little girl running around with white hair, pickpocketing people. That sets up Storm and T'Challa, and then you can have that power couple ruling Wakanda. It could be so good. And I'm so happy that that's happened, because now we have a new T'Challa. He can go on to do all of T'Challa's stories while also respecting Chadwick Boseman's legacy. And it's not like a new actor coming in who has to replicate everything T'Challa does, or Chadwick does. Now it's this new actor who can be his own T'Challa and not stepping on what Chadwick did, and not having to live up to it. But I think, just to summarise, I think there is some little faults in this movie, but it was very crowded. They had a lot to get done, and honestly, I don't blame them for the little shortcomings. The important stuff they nailed, and I think this movie was absolutely great. Loved every second of it. Cannot wait to see what happens with the MCU going forward. Can't wait to see what tension builds between the other countries and Wakanda now with M'Baku in charge. And I really hope Ryan Coogler stays on to do more Marvel projects. I think he's brilliant. The way he's done two of the best Marvel films. Marvel cannot let that guy go. He's brilliant. Yeah, I just love this movie. I think it was so good. With that said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, let me know in the comments, because this is a new kind of video. Like, if you did enjoy it, I might try and do some others. I might go through Marvel again. If you don't, I won't do it. But yeah, I will see you guys next week for the next Fast and Furious movie. I think it's called Fast 5. So yeah, I will see you next time.